everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another airbrushing step by step. This one is an Ace of Spades playing card, sort of realistic. Going to take you through a realistic sort of painting, the best we can get it down. Now, you've seen in that clip at the beginning, I tried to break it down as easy as possible for you of transferring the image. So I hope you picked up on that all right. Now, I've printed it out, as you can see, great printout, brand new printer. But look at the colours in that. So I printed it out. I didn't print two out, I printed one out. But I did what we did at the beginning in that little video clip. Printed it out, I flipped it over, penciled on the back, turned it back over, placed it over the piece that I'm going to paint on, pencil over this, and it transfers the pencil lines down to your paper. So that's what I did here. You'll be able to see the pencil on the back of that. And then I chopped this out. So I've got like the playing card, I've got the outer, I chopped the centre of the spade part out, and I chopped the little parts of the spade part out there. I left the A's in, and I left this pin line that goes round the ace in the middle. I left that. I didn't cut it out, I just left it on this piece here. But I penciled them across. Now the reason why I didn't cut them out is it's near on impossible to be able to chop them out on a piece of thin A4 printout paper. You're going to struggle, and that's why at the beginning of the video I said we're going to be using Caran d'Ache pencils, a black and a white, because we can pencil these in, because to try and chop them out you'll be really struggling if you're a beginner. So grab a pencil, black watercolour pencil will do, and we can just pencil these bits in. And you can pencil the spades in as well if you need to, if you're going to struggle, because trying to airbrush these freehand down to get them clean and sharp, it's near on impossible. You're going to get too much overspray, and they've got to be sharp. So chop them out if you can, and the A's will pencil in. The pin line round here will pencil in, but the inner, we can spray that bit because I've cut that piece out, and hopefully you've cut that out as well. Now, as you can see here, I've got Pro Mask on here. Now what I did, I put a bit of Pro Mask after I'd penciled it onto my paper, laid it on the top, and then just cut around with Pro Mask. The reason why I'm doing that is, and this is where you're going to struggle as well if you're using paper shields, if you've not got a magnetic easel, where your easel piece here is metal, and then you can put magnets on. If you've got that, happy days, because then when you put your paper on, you can drop magnets all the way around the outside, and it will hold your paper shield in place. If you've not got a magnetic board, because we haven't all got that, I've not got one, it can be a little bit fiddly, but I'll show you a way of getting round it to hold this down in place, just so it keeps your overspray at bay. Now, doing a piece like this, you're going to want thin paints. You don't want to be going thick acrylic paints. You really don't. You've got to start really thinning your paints out, and you've got to drop your air pressure down. We're going to be running around probably 10, 12 psi. Bring it right down. Thin paints, and we're going to be going very lightly because it's very soft, light shadows. Now the paints that I picked for this is the FW acrylic inks, and at the beginning it said that I'm going to be using transparent black, so I'm going to be testing the transparent black. If you've not got a transparent black but you've got FW inks, do 1 drop black and do like say 20 drops flow improver and just sort of wash it out, get it sort of washed out as much as you can, and then do a separate black mix. So you've got a darker version and you've got a real washed out one, and just give it a go with the washed out one when we do this. I've got 2 mixes of a transparent because I'm testing the new transparents that hopefully we're going to be launched very soon. So I've got 2 of them. The outside piece, when you look at the image, I'll pop it up on the screen now, it's like a grey. So I've got a few greys here pre-mixed. I've got a light, a mid and a dark. I'm just going to chuck a load of these in the brush, get a sort of darkish grey, and we're going to spray the background first. Now that's why I've got this masked off, so it keeps the card nice and clean. Spray the background in, and then I can remove the masking and concentrate on the card. If you've not got masking on your piece of paper and you've got this piece, what you can do is just take that off. If you've cut your centerpiece out and you've got this, you would be doing this. You'd be trying to hold it in position and spray all this background whilst holding that, and the other hand with the airbrush. It can be very fiddly. If you've got magnets and a magnetic board, you would put this on here and just drop your magnets on all around here and hold this in place. But if you've not got that, a little way round it that you can do, get little pieces of masking tape like that and roll it back on itself. Go to the pencil side where you put your pencil on, and then just put some of these like that rolled up on the corners, and that will pin your picture in place. Just put like one there, just round the corners, and that will just hold it in place. So when you spray up to it, you'll get a lot less overspray going underneath. Right, I think I've explained enough. Hopefully you've took all that on board. We'll move in. If there's anything else, I'll just talk to you as we paint it. Let's crack on. Right, we're ready to attempt it. The paint, because it's really cold in here this morning, the paints don't like the cold. So we're going for a grey first. I'm going to go with that grey, and we're just going to put a tone of grey around the outside. It'll do. So work your grey round your image. I'll get this greyed out, and I'll see you in the next step. Right, hopefully you've got it to that stage. My paint is really sort of struggling to dry. I'm getting a little bit of powdery on it. It's really cold in here today. Now, if you struggled to get this bit down, getting this piece in place, shows you how good my cutting is. Look how much that's off. But that's where you can get your rolled up pieces of masking, and you can drop them on the back like that. And then when you place this on like this, it'll just hold it in place. If you are doing this like that to get the grey background, just sort of spray away from the edges. It'll keep the overspray going underneath and just lifting it up. You can get it down that way. Right, so we are going to start with, we're going to drop the A's in with a Caran d'Ache pencil. Let's just get them. Without snapping the lead. Like that, that'll do. That's them bits in. Now if you have cut these out, you can hold this. Now I've got some of the black, I've got the transparent black in, which is very transparent. You can hold them up like that. Really needs to go a little bit darker, but you get the idea. Like that. We will go darker on that. Just let that dry off. If you've not cut them out, you can go back in with a pencil. Same with the centre one, you can do it that way on with the either pencil or holding that up like you just seen me do, and spray it. So the next thing to do is we'll do the lines around here. I think I've missed one. I have. That'll do. And we can paint that in. Bit of a mess up there, but hey ho, you get the idea. Right, now what we need to do is, this is where the Pro Mask would have come in handy for the outer, because you can put this on now. On here, so I'm going to use that technique of putting these on to hold it in place, just to try and stop a bit of this overspray. You would get better results if it was all masking, but that'll do. That'll do for that. Right, we're going to go in with transparent black and just start to drop a little bit of this in here. Like that. Little soft edge here. And we've got this piece here to drop in. As I say, it's not going to be perfect. It really isn't. Not on paper like this, when you need to do some real soft erasing. We might get a bit of erasing out of it, but like that little bit here. We can knock the pencil lines out. Not a problem. Got some tighter creases here, so you can get your piece of paper, hold it here, just create that little shadow in there. Go around trying to create what you see. A little bit mottled there, so just go light on that bit, just in this corner. This bit here, we've got like, without doing that. See how the brush is releasing paint. Things like this happen. Needle's not seated. It's going to go wrong. It's going to go wrong in this step by step. It is not seating the needle. It's all going wrong today. Still isn't seating it. Oh well, we'll persevere. It's not going to have it. No, it's not going to have it. We're going to have to change brushes. Going to get another brush. Right, there's the first balls up. H&S, you've let me down. Needle won't seat at all. Done it 3 times reseating it and blasted it through the cleaner. Might be the nozzle. Right, we'll try again. Let's try with the custom micron. Will this work? And do some little. Try to. Just on the edge of that paper. And dust in here. See, I think it's good when things happen like this. It's really good. Now you've got this line here. We can do more to this in a minute. We've got this sort of line coming through here. Now you can rip a piece of paper like that to give you that sort of, because it's got like a rough edge. Going way too dark. Oh no, we're all right. Thought I'd gone too dark then. Same here. We got a little bit of a ripped edge. We'll do the same, a little bit straighter on this bit, just do a little. Ooh, that's all right, we'll go with that. Not working for me today. Just feather this one out lighter. Up here. A little bit over this side here. It's a little bit there. You can spray into this edge here, as long as your masking's not like mine and it's got a gap, because that's going to go darker. We've got this little bit here. Drop a bit in. There, we'll do a little bit of that edge with the paper. Just here. Like that. Right, we've got it to there. We'll get an eraser and try and do some erasing, getting these little pencil lines, the little dashes out the way. Get a little bit of this knot back if we can. Erase some bits out if you can do it. I mean, this is mixed media paper and it's it's not the best, especially for doing this sort of the erasing on and that. You can only go so far with it. Just knock them out, get them out of the way. Like that. Let's put a few little yeah. A few little stray lines in here. Right, still see my pencil lines, it's not even taking these out. See, most people would be doing this. You'd have Createx illustration, you'd be on synthetic paper or a paper that you can erase on. To get better results. Right, let's drop a little bit more colour down. Go a little bit darker on this bit. A bit more. God, the micron ain't even playing right now. That should be on point. I'm moving the trigger right back. We'll end up picking up a cheap GHAD 39 £20 brush in a minute. We've gone from a £200 H&S that's just ballsed up to a £400 Micron that ain't playing ball. You watch, £25 Galleria. We'll just wipe the floor with them all. Still ain't spraying. This is thin, transparent paint. Micron's not having it now. This is what you get when it's cold in the UK. Paint's like tarmac, even though it's thinned out. Mobius 02. There you go. Look at that. Straight down. So yeah. Straight in, exactly what I want, job done. The Mobius does it. Farting around because the H&S wouldn't seat properly. Working perfect yesterday. Exactly what I want it to do. Little tiny little speckles like that. It's doing it. This is what you will get with a Micron, and I won't say the H&S because that's always usually working. I don't know what's wrong with that. But you'll get that with a Micron. It can be a little bit hit and miss if you've not got your paint dialed in, or it really can. Right. Just do a few little passes. Let's get this bit. I think I've done this bit wrong as well. Yeah, I have. Crikey. There should be another line going in there, but hey ho, doesn't matter. Right, let's just get a little bit of this. Let's get this sort of painted in. Let's do a little. Just fill that bit in. Very thin this is. It's just starting to dwell up on the paper a bit. Need this to go darker. That'll do. Like that. A little bit there. A bit more here. Right, it's not looking great, but we're getting there. Now I'm going to try and just have a little pick at this. Oh, it's doing it. This is basically just scratching the paper and sort of cutting into it. But it gives you that sort of look as though it's torn it, well, over creased it. That'll do. You're actually lifting the paper, but it doesn't matter. Same as these bits, really you would be erasing this here. But I'm just going to gouge the paper just to get the highlight that I'm after. Because it won't erase back, not on this, for these little bits that I'm after. That'll do there, we've got a little bit here. You do a real soft erase here, just to give it a tint of a highlight, really. Highlight that up a bit with the Caran dash. We're missing a bit in the middle here, doesn't matter. Some little highlighty bits there. Right, I'm going to remove that. Because we've got highlight around here and here. Sort of. Like that. Go back in with the black Caran dash and just this bit's different because you should have another line coming in here, going up to that one there. That should have continued down and gone down here like that and round it. So I've made a mess of that bit, but just ignore that. You get the idea. We can't all get it perfect. I think I'm going to go with that. I reckon I'll do a little bit more shading. Just want to get more of a line in here. Like that. I've got this little bit of drop shadow here. Really to mask that bit out. Just going to go in freehand. And you've got another little bit here. Like that. And then we've got that one there. Now, you can go in with your mask and just pray that it fits. I don't think this is what you'll get with the paper when you're trying to hold it if you've not got a magnetic board. Let me just pin that. We'll get it down. Might get a bit of overspray there. Because I very rarely paint doing this. You never see me doing stuff with stencils like this, ever. I just don't do it. I sort of go all the ways around it. I'd use like Pro Mask on this to get it really sharp. But you can achieve it with this, it's just a little bit more fiddlier. Right, that's that bit. Here's where we move this way and we've got loads of overspray. And we've got white lines where it's missed. So we'll just black that in with that. I should have put on the thumbnail, here's how not to airbrush an ace of spades, or all the things that can go wrong whilst painting a playing card. Watch and find out. bit sort of mottled there. That's okay, that's not bad. Dark on this side here. A bit more. I think I'm going to go with that. It's not the best, it really isn't by any means, but it gives you a look at sort of how to sort of achieve it. If you go sort of like them steps, but do better masking, you know, and just sort of, if you're on a different paper where you can, you know, I'm literally just digging that out. There. It gives it that look a bit torn though, or folded when you do it like this, when you fur the paper up. Probably send back out little bits. The eraser just, it won't touch it. Very, very minimal. Bit more there. Let's try and get some of that out. It's taking a bit of it off, but not a great deal. See, you didn't really want to overspray here. That's why Pro Mask on this would have been so much better. All done in Pro Mask. A little bit more time cutting out, you'll get better results than trying to do paper shields and hold it with magnets and, you know what I mean? It's like, but that will do. There you go. It's not bad. I could have got this a lot more on point if it was all Pro Masked up. I'd have really took my time on it. But it don't look too bad. I mean, the H&S died. I think it's because I left painting it yesterday and it's gone cold. Paint's gone a bit sludgy. I did blast it through with cleaner before, but I reckon there's a little bit of build up in the nozzle. And that's what you'll get. So when you put your needle in, it's just making the needle slightly seep back, coming that fraction, and you get paint flow consistently coming out the front of the brush. So if you do get that, I'm glad it happened on camera, just give your nozzle a real good clean out and reseat your needle. And it will stop that when you press down, it'll stop your paint coming out. So I'm glad it happened on camera because there's a few things, disasters. We messed up on the centre of the lines going around. There should have been another line in there, but that doesn't matter. And then we picked the Micron up and that didn't want to play ball either. And it was like, what? And then we jump on the Mobius and it was just, yes, it was just straight in, working. And this is what you're going to get when you get these, like the Micron, and you get the real fine, that sort of detail brushes. Temperatures are a big thing. I mean, it is freezing in here today. It really is cold in the studio today. My hands are freezing, my feet are freezing. And that's not going to help you paint. It really isn't going to help you paint. I mixed the paint up at the start. I had them in bottles. So they've sat in it's really cold. And I just buzzed them on the vortex mixer for a couple of seconds before I hit sort of record to start, thinking it was going to be singing and dancing okay. But there's times when it's not, and it's happened on camera, so you get to see it, which is like you're going to go through these problems, you know. But we got it down, so that's how I'd sort of go around it, doing it like that, just going in light with the transparent. As I say, if this was on like a synthetic paper, you would dust down, and then where you get these softer transitions, like on the bits here, you can just really softly knock them back with an eraser, and you can achieve all these little bits. Same as the bits through here, the little scratch backs. I've actually cut into the paper, which gives you that look. So when you look at this close up, that does look kind of furry, how it would look if the card was actually bent. So it's pretty cool that it's done that. This would have been better. I wouldn't have had as much overspray coming around because the bottom of the car would have been cleaner here if this was Pro Masked, separating that to that. And you have got, it's not a very real sharp edge here. It's slightly blurred, it would blur off because the card would be sort of sitting like that. That is the drop shadow, but you just very slightly blur that edge. So do a little bit softer on that edge. And that's just with looking at it, you know. When you study and look at the actual pieces of it, when you zoom in, you can really home in on the bits that you need to, you know. But we got it down. I hope you've enjoyed the step by step. I hope you've had a giggle along the way with my disasters. I'm going to sit here now in the freezing cold and clean these brushes out and get them back on the shelf. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Link in the description to the RedFX custom skin that's out. Keep your eyes out on that website in the link, because the transparent sets, fingers crossed, will be coming out very soon. So just keep nipping over and having a look. But you can get your Pro Mask from there, which I'd highly recommend, and application tape. So if you really do want to start doing things like this, where it's that realistic look and you want them real sharp, crisp edges, save you doing things like this, printing them out. I mean, yeah, we transferred the image across this way. I think that's as far as I'd go. When you start cutting out paper shields, if you've not got magnets and about 100 of them to stick all the way around to hold it in place, you're still going to get overspray. You really will, because it's thin copy paper. It's really thin. You know, I'd rather project up, get the projector, set it up, project can sit there, project it, and then I'll lay Pro Mask over and then chop precisely. So everything is chopped nice. I'd even get this piece done as well. In the Pro Mask, I'd cut this out and get it really homed in. I'd stick to doing the letters with the Caran d'Ache. It worked well. If you do struggle, you can use a pencil. But as much sharpness where it needs to go, you know, always put your sharps where they need to go, and then put your soft transitions where they need to go. Some people do airbrush work and they chop every single thing out and it just stands out. You'll see that with people that do portraits. If you keep your eye out for it, they sharpen everything up. They cut all the eyes out, they cut the pupil out, everything is sharp, and the eyes will just look it's like, whoa, what have you done there? You know, nature is soft and sharps when you look at it. When you look at study images, you have your sharps and your softs, and just balance that up. Put your sharps and soft where you need them. Don't go overkill on sort of scratching techniques, because it can look too much. It can really stand out and look too much. Just do blends between the two, you know. I hope this has helped. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts, and I'll see you when I've thawed out in the next one. Cheers.